David Miller stood in the cemetery, his hands trembling as he watched his son, Ethan's, coffin being lowered into the ground. The tragic accident had taken his 8-year-old boy too soon, but something didn't sit right with him. Ethan had always been afraid of the dark, yet his body had been found in a closed, locked basement. The police ruled it an accident, but David had his doubts. That night, as the funeral home prepared for burial, he placed a tiny, motion-activated camera inside the coffin, his desperate attempt to find peace. Days passed, and David could barely function. The weight of grief was suffocating, but curiosity gnawed at him. Late one night, with shaking hands, he retrieved the camera's footage. At first, there was nothing, just darkness. Then, movement. His breath caught as the screen flickered. A faint rustling sound. And then, a whisper. "Daddy, help me." David's blood ran cold. He rewound the footage, heart pounding. The coffin should have been sealed. This was impossible. David watched in horror as the camera captured something moving inside the coffin. The lid creaked open slightly. A pair of pale, bony hands appeared, not Ethan's. A shadowy figure loomed over his son's still body. The whispers turned into eerie, inhuman murmurs. The figure seemed to caress Ethan's face, then vanished. Seconds later, a different sound emerged, a scraping, like nails against wood. David clutched his mouth, realizing Ethan might have still been alive when buried. His world shattered. Without a second thought, David grabbed a shovel and rushed to the cemetery in the dead of night. His hands blistered as he dug furiously, tears blurring his vision. He had to know. He had to see for himself. When he finally reached the coffin, he hesitated before prying it open. The lid creaked, revealing an empty space. Ethan's body was gone. In its place was a single, crumpled piece of paper. With shaking fingers, he unfolded it. 3 words sent ice through his veins, "Not your son." David staggered back, his mind racing. Who, or what, had they buried? A gust of cold wind howled through the graveyard, and he felt an eerie presence behind him. Slowly, he turned. In the distance, near the cemetery gate, stood a small figure, a boy. Ethan. But his skin was too pale, his eyes too hollow. "Daddy," the figure whispered. Before vanishing into the night, David fell to his knees, realization crashing over him. Ethan's death had never been an accident. Someone, or something, had taken him, and whatever had been in that coffin, it wasn't his son.
If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and press the bell icon.